Okay. So I'm going to wait one more minute and then we'll start with the presentation. And I'm assuming everybody has their booklet in front of you, or you wonderful. What excellent. You guys are so good. And Diane is joining us. And thank you everyone for muting yourselves. I appreciate that. Hey, Jody. Hi, Roar. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, it's 10 o'clock. We start on time. We have a lot to cover in 1 hour. So welcome everyone to the 5 Wishes webinar. And I just want to double check. We are being recorded. Yes, we are. All righty. That sounds good. Well, I'm truly excited to be here and thank you all for joining us. What motivated me to present this program goes back to the many years I was a hospital chaplain at Long Beach Memorial and Miller's Children's Hospital. And I saw firsthand the frustration that often arises among the doctors, the nurses, the clinicians, and most of all, the families, that their loved ones, when their loved ones faces those serious illnesses or an accident or end-of-life condition. Many times our spiritual care department would receive referrals from physicians or social workers to help us with their patients in filling out the 5 Wishes document, especially before major surgery. And I can remember thinking to myself, boy, howdy, going through the end of life is already so difficult. Why add more stress and confusion and conflict when it doesn't have to be that way? The 5 Wishes provides a way to ease those burdens at critical moments in our lives. I felt so strongly in my heart that if more people were educated about advanced care planning, that much of the fear and anxiety and conflict would be greatly reduced. And that is why I'm here today, so that each of you will take this information out to your families, your friends, your centers, your spiritual communities, and share this with them. It's like a ripple effect, because at the end of our time together, each and every one of you will now be an expert in the 5 Wishes. And boy, what a group we have here today, you guys. It's amazing. I know we have social workers in the house. We have death doulas, attorneys, nurses, doctors, therapists, hospice angels, ministers, practitioners, family and friends. We have so much collective wisdom just right here. It just gives me those God bumps, as we like to say. I also want to give a very special shout out to my spiritual community, Awakening Ways in Atascadero, and our spiritual director, Reverend Elizabeth, for all of their love and support in supporting me in this webinar. I truly believe that completing your 5 wishes is one of the greatest gifts you can give to your loved ones. It becomes a part of your legacy and care. Now, let's be honest. Most of us have not done an advanced healthcare directive. And some of the reasons I have heard over the years is, I don't know how to fill it out. Oh, I don't like talking about those things. I don't think it's necessary. Heck, I'll let my kids deal with it. I'll be dead. Or no one ever asked me what my wishes are. And the other one I hear a lot, isn't it expensive? And we know it is not. Now, here are some eye-opening facts. 70% of older adults who need to make medical decisions are unable to do so for themselves. That's from a 2014 survey. Only a third of US adults have documented their end-of-life preferences from a 2017 survey. And yet, 80% of Americans agree this conversation needs to happen, and it's so important. That was from a 2018 survey, and this was way before COVID. Can't you imagine how it would be now? So let's all begin this important conversation together. I'm going to go ahead and put the 5 wishes on the shared screen. And can everybody hear me okay? Perfect. Okay. So here we go. Okay. The 5 wishes, very simple. Wish number 1, the person I want to make care decisions for me when I can't. Wish number 2, the kind of medical treatment I want or don't want. Number 3, how comfortable I want to be. Number 4, my wish for people to know how to treat me. And number 5, what I want my loved ones to know. Now, the last 3 wishes are really about comfort, treatment, and your legacy. And this is what makes the difference from other types of advance directives that you may have in your living trust that you've done with your attorney. It usually does not include those last 3 wishes. And as we go through the booklet together, if you have any questions, I'm going to suggest that you just write them on the side because I might cover them during this presentation. And at the end, we will have a question and answer session together. So there are many things in life that are out of our hands. This 5 wishes document gives you a way to control something very important, how you are treated if you are seriously ill. It is an easy to complete form that lets you say exactly what you want. Once it's filled out and properly signed and witnessed, it is valid under the laws of most states. And so what is the 5 wishes? It's the first living will, also known as an advance directive, that talks about your personal, emotional, and spiritual needs, as well as your medical wishes. It lets you choose the person you want to make healthcare decisions for you if you are not able to make them for yourself. 5 wishes let you say exactly how you wish to be treated if you are seriously ill. It was written with the help of the nation's leading experts in end-of-life care, and it's easy to use. All you have to do is check a box, circle a direction, or write a few sentences. Now, how does a 5 wishes help you and your family? It lets you talk with your family, friends, and doctor about how you would like to be treated if you become seriously ill. Your family members will not have to guess what you want. It protects them if you become seriously ill because they won't have to make hard decisions without knowing your wishes. And you can know what mom, dad, spouse, and friends want. You can be there for them when they need you the most, and you will understand what they really want. How this all began is through our beautiful Mother Teresa. She had an attorney with her for the last 12 years, Jim Towie, and he had a very special place in his heart to working with patients and families to plan ahead and to cope with serious illnesses. And he created this document with the help of with attorneys. Now, it is now in 33 languages, not 30, and it's also in Braille. Isn't that great? Who should use the 5 wishes? It's for anyone over 18. However, I will say they do have 5 wishes for children. Married, single, parents, adult children, friends. More than 40 million people of all ages have already used it because it works so well. Lawyers, doctors, hospice, and faith communities, employers, and retiree groups are handing out this document. People who use the 5 wishes find that it helps them express all they want and provides a helpful guide to family members, friends, caregiver, and doctors. Most doctors and healthcare professionals know they need to listen to your wishes,
Where are you?
how you express them. So the 5 wishes are good in every single state in the United States. Isn't that great? However, if you happen to live in Kansas, New Hampshire, Ohio, or Texas, they're going to ask you to take one additional step that goes along with your 5 wishes. And you can find that out at 5wishes.org in their website. How do I change 5 wishes? You may already have a living will or a durable power of attorney for healthcare. If you want to use the 5 wishes instead, all you need to do is to fill it out and sign a new 5 wishes as directed. As soon as you sign it, it takes away any advance directive you had before. To make sure you have the right form that you're using, please follow the directions here. Destroy all copies of your old living will or your durable power of attorney for healthcare, or you can write revoke in large letters across the copy you have and tell your lawyer if he or she help you prepare those old forms for you. Tell your healthcare agent, your family members, your doctor that you have filled out a new 5 wishes, and make sure they know about your new wishes. And of course, you're going to hear this many times, give them copies. All right. So this is a great little Q&A. You can put your phone over and it'll take you directly to the 5wishes.org for just a wonderful resource of information. However, they do not give you the 5 wishes for free. They give you a lot of resources. And just to let you know, usually you can get them free at a hospital or your doctor's office. They're $5 a piece for the paper copy. And if you love digital, I really strongly recommend that. That's $7.50. You can do the digital, which is really great because it's easy to change and you'll have it in a PDF form on your phone and you can send it to everybody. All righty. So wish number 1. The person I want to make healthcare decisions for me when I can't make them for myself. If I am no longer able to make my own healthcare decisions, this form makes the person I choose to make those choices for me. This person will be my healthcare agent or any other term you may be used. And they have many terms. It's just like God. We have many terms for God. This person will make my healthcare choices if both of these things happen. My attending or treating doctor finds I am no longer able to make healthcare choices, and another healthcare professional agrees that this is true. If my state has a different way of finding that I am not able to make healthcare choices, then my state's way should be followed. So the first thing I want to talk about, do you have to have a healthcare agent? Absolutely not. You do not have to have a healthcare agent named. However, what they're asking you to do is at least fill out wish number 2 that we'll get to next. So in choosing your healthcare agent, so for example, my healthcare agent is my spouse, Terry Esselin, and I would fill this out. The next person I would choose would be my closest relative is my nephew/son and his wife, my daughter-in-law, Tamara. Now, I'm going to put Tamara second and my nephew/son third because I think it may be easier for her to make a decision than putting that on my nephew/son. That's just my what works best for me in my comfort zone. Now let's talk about picking the right person to be your healthcare agent. Choose someone who knows you very well and cares about you and who can make difficult decisions. A spouse or family member may not be the best choice because they're too emotionally involved. Sometimes they are the best choice. You know best. Choose someone who's able to stand up for you so that your wishes are followed. Also, choose someone who is likely to be nearby so they can help when you need them. Now, I'm going to pause here because let's say your next relative, your closest person's on the other side of the United States. With the technology we have, with FaceTime, with Zoom, that makes it a lot more easier for the medical team to connect with your loved ones. So we don't have to worry so much if they're that close by, but it is much easier if they are. Whether you choose a spouse, family member, or friend as your healthcare agent, make sure you talk about these wishes and be sure that this person agrees to respect and follow your wishes. Your healthcare agent has to be over 18, in Colorado 21, and they shall not be your healthcare provider, including owner or operator of health or residential or community care facility serving you. They cannot be an employee or a spouse of an employee of your healthcare provider. And they cannot be an agent or proxy for 10 or more people unless he or she is your spouse or close relative. So you want to make sure the person you choose is going to be a great advocate for you, and they're not going to be afraid of asking questions. If you have anybody in your family or friend circle that have had experience with hospitals or hospice, that would be a really good team member to have on your team, because they are not intimidated by the hospital environment. That can be very intimidating. All righty. I understand that my healthcare agent can make healthcare decisions for me. I want my agent to be able to do the following. And they're asking you to cross out anything you don't want your agent to do that is listed before. And down below, there's some of those lines we can add additional information that's important to us. So if you have your book with you, let's cross it out as we go along, or not. So I want my healthcare agent to make choices for me about my medical care or services, like tests, medicine, or surgery. This care or service could be to find out what my health problem is or how to treat it. It can also include care to keep me alive. If the treatment or care has already been started, my healthcare agent can keep it going or have it stopped. My healthcare agent will interpret any instructions I have given in this form or given in other discussions according to my healthcare agent's understanding of my wishes. Okay. My healthcare agent has a consent to admit me to an assisted living facility, hospital, hospice, or nursing home for me. My healthcare agent can hire any kind of healthcare worker I may need to help me or to take care of me. My agent may also fire a healthcare worker if needed. So I'm going to stop here, because for me, I want to make sure that I let my healthcare agent know that I do not consent to go to assisted living facility. I'm going to cross that out. Or to a nursing home. Okay. And I'm going to write in there home care only, or hospice in home care only. Now, this is just me. I've had friends and family members. In fact, my dad said to us, hey, if I get to the point where I don't know you and I'm too big of a burden, I want you to put me in a healthcare facility. My brother-in-law that has Parkinson's disease, he has also said to all of us, if it gets to that point, I'm good. Take me there. I don't want to be a burden. Everybody's different. I don't want that. I do want to be a burden. Okay, let's go on. Make the decision to request or take away or not give medical treatment, including artificially provided food and water and any other treatments to keep me alive. Okay. Let's go on here. Okay, so next one. To see and approve release of my medical records and personal files. If I need to sign my name to get any of these files, my healthcare agent can sign it for me. My healthcare agent can move me to another state to get care if I need that, or to carry out my wishes. Once again, this would be something that I would be crossing out in my healthcare wishes, because everybody I know lives right here in California. But many of us have friends or family across the nation, and we may want to move closer to them to get that family care. My healthcare agent can take legal action needed to carry out my wishes. They can donate usable organs or tissues of mine as allowed by law. Once again, for me, I'm going to cross this out. Now, if you're with family and friends and they don't want to donate any organs or tissue, I'm going to ask you not to have a strong reaction like, oh, why don't you want to do that? This is good. You're helping people. And I might suggest, instead of reacting that way, is just say, tell me more about that. Tell me why you're feeling that way. Because I know for myself, this is crossed out in my 5 wishes. And the reason why is when my identical twin sister at the age of 24 died, my mom and dad donated everything. And that for me just is not comfortable because of my history in that. But it's a beautiful gift to give. Okay, my healthcare agent can apply for Medicare, Medicaid, or other programs or insurance benefits for me. My healthcare agent can see my personal files, like bank records, to find out what is needed to fill out these forms. As you know, they want to know your financial situation. Listed below are any changes, additions, or limitations on my healthcare agent's powers. So this is where you're going to write in. Let's say you have 3 children and you have all of them listed as your healthcare agent, but you have the number 1 point person. You might want to add in there that my children, that you request that your children come to some sort of consensus together. And if they have any challenges or they're not sure, that you may want to put in there, if this is appropriate for you, to consult clergy, a priest, a minister, or a rabbi to help in that discussion. Now, we're not going to talk too much about this, but let's just say in your mind that you are thinking about when it gets to that point and you're in such pain or just a diminished physical capacity, that you would consider end of life option. This is where you would want to write it in so you can let your family know this might be a possibility. Okay. And hospice has done a great job. It gets to that point, they will go through that with you and tell you about the end of life option policy. There's also another one called MAID. That's a medical aid in dying. And so again, you want people to know that this might be something you may consider so it doesn't come as a surprise. Again, these are your wishes. All right. So change your mind about having a healthcare agent. Well, what if one of your healthcare agents crosses over, or you're not close to them, or you want to change that? Easy to do. Just destroy all copies of that part of the 5 wishes, or tell someone such as my doctor or family that I want to cancel, change my healthcare agent, or write revoked in large letters across each of the names of each agent whose authority you want to cancel, and then just sign your name on that page. All righty. Wish number 2. My wish for the kind of medical treatment I want or don't want. And again, I want to be very clear. This only takes effect when you have an end of life condition, or there's been some traumatic accident, or you're terminally ill. Okay, or you're very fragile and you have less than maybe 6 months or so to live. I believe that my life is precious and I deserve to be treated with dignity. When the time comes that I am very sick and I'm not able to speak for myself, I want the following wishes. I want the following wishes and any other directions I have given to my healthcare agent to be respected and followed. What you should know as my caregiver. I do not want to be in pain. I want to be comfortable. Wish number 3 says, what can be done to help me make me comfortable? I want to be offered food and fluids by mouth if it is safe for me to eat and drink. I want to be kept clean and warm. I do not want anything done or omitted by my doctors or nurses with the intention of taking my life. And we're going to talk about that in wish number 3 under pain medications. So what is life support? Life support treatment means any medical procedure, device, or medication to keep me alive. Life support treatment includes medical devices put in me to help me breathe, food and water supplied by medical devices like a feeding tube, CPR, major surgery, blood transfusion, dialysis, antibiotics, anything else meant to keep me alive. If I wish to limit the meaning of life support treatment because of my religious or personal beliefs, I write these limitations in the space below. I do this to make very clear what I want and under what conditions. So once again, working at the hospital, our friends that are Jehovah Witnesses will write in there, no blood transfusion. Or you may put something in there that you want to be kept alive until your loved ones to come and see you. There may be some other cultural or religious um, that's important to you. This is where you're going to put this in here, okay? Now we're going to talk about in case of emergency. And this is a DNR, do not resuscitate. And this is completely different than the 5 wishes. This is completely different. If you have a medical emergency and ambulance personnel arrive, they may look to see if you have a DNR form or a bracelet. Many states require a person to have a do not resuscitate form filled out and signed by a doctor if you choose not to be resuscitated. This form lets the ambulance personnel know that you do not want them to use life support treatment when you are dying. Please check with your doctor to see if you need to have a do not resuscitate form. Now, you're going to see more of this if you go into hospice or you have been diagnosed with a terminal illness. And there's some medical orders that only a doctor or a medical team can sign. And those, I'm going to talk about 3 of them very quickly here. This is not a part of the 5 wishes because these are medical orders, okay, provided by your healthcare team. One is the pulse, that's the physician's orders for life-sustaining treatment. A MOLST is medical orders for life-sustaining treatment, and a POST is provider's orders for a scope of treatment. And as you can see, this would be, again, toward the end of life. You do not need a DNR if you are healthy and you do not have a terminal illness, okay? So we don't want to have a DNR if we're all doing good. Alrighty, let's go to the next page. Here is a kind of medical treatment that I want or don't want in 4 situations listed below. I want my healthcare agent, my family, my doctors, and other healthcare providers, my friends, and all others to know these directions. Now, 3 of these all have the same multiple choice. So if I am close to death, if my doctor and another healthcare professional, remember 2 people, both decide that I am likely to die within a short period of time, and life support treatment would only delay the moment of my death, choose one of the following. I want life support, or I do not want life support, and if it has been started, stop it. Or I want life support treatment if my doctor believes it could help. but I want my doctor to stop giving me life support treatment if it is not helping my health conditions or symptoms. Okay. What if we're in coma and not expected to wake up or recover? If my doctor and another healthcare professional, again, two people, both decide that I'm in coma from which I am not expected to wake up or recover, and I have brain damage and life support treatment would only delay the moment of death, choose one of the following. I don't want life support. Excuse me, I want life support. Number two, I don't want life support. If it has been started, stop it. I want life support treatment if my doctor believes it could help, but I want my doctor to stop giving me life support treatment if it is not helping my health conditions or symptoms. Permanent and severe brain damage and not expected to recover. If my doctor and another healthcare professional both decide that I have permanent and severe brain damage, for example, I can open my eyes, but I cannot speak or understand, and I am not expected to get better, and life support treatment would only delay the moment of death, again, choose the following. I want life support. I don't want life support. If it has started, stop it. I want to have life support treatment if my doctor believes it could help, but I want my doctor to stop giving me life support treatment if it is not helping my health conditions or symptoms. In any other condition under which I do not wish to be kept alive, if there is any other condition under which I do not wish to have life support treatment, I describe it below. In this condition, I believe that the costs and burdens of life support treatment are too much and not worth the benefits to me. Therefore, in this condition, I do not want life support treatment. For an example, you may write end of stage condition. That means that your health has gotten worse and you are not able to take care of yourself in any way, mentally or physically. Life support treatment will not help you recover. Please leave the space blank if you have no other conditions to describe. Okay. So that's where you're going to add other conditions. Now, I remember when my dad filled out his 5 wishes, he wrote, if I'm over 90 years old, I do not want life support. And guess what? I put that in mine too. That seems pretty good to me. That was comfortable for me. Remember, you have to do what's comfortable for you. Okay? You guys are doing great. We got through the tough stuff. We got through this tough stuff. So we're going to go on to wish number 3 now. I just want to make sure we're all here. Okay. Let's go to wish number 3. The next 3 wishes deal with my personal, spiritual, and emotional wishes. They are important to me. I want to be treated with dignity near the end of life. So I would like people to do the things written in wishes 3, 4, and 5 when they can be done. I understand that my family, my doctors, and other healthcare providers, my friends and others may not be able to do these things or are not required by law to do these things. I don't expect the following wishes to place new or added legal duties on my doctors or other healthcare providers. I also do not expect these wishes to excuse my doctor or other healthcare providers from giving me proper care when asked for by law. So wish number 3 is my wish for how comfortable I want to be. Cross out anything that you do not agree with. I don't want to be in pain. I want my doctor to give me enough medicine to relieve my pain, even if it means I will be drowsy or sleep more than otherwise. Now I'm just going to stop the share here because this is something I think we've all experienced with our family, our friends, our relative. They go visit your loved ones and they are out of it. They're loopy, they're gurgly. You don't even know who they are. They don't even make sense. And you get so upset. You go see the nurse. My mother, she doesn't even know I'm here. What did you give her? And of course, they're going to say something to the effect, well, mom was in great pain and we gave her some morphine or whatever the pain medication is to help relieve that pain. It is a very tender dance to do. However, the good news is we have great medical and pain treatments available. And just like anything else, whether it's high blood pressure medicine or cholesterol medicine, you may have to go through some different medications to find the right one for your loved ones. And that's something where that avocation comes in and you can say, is there any other types of medicine that you can give her that doesn't give her that type of reaction? But it is a very tender dance. It's a very tender dance, just to let you know that we hear from many, many people. Okay. Okay, next one. If I show signs of depression, nausea, shortness of breath, or hallucination, I want my caregivers to do whatever they can do to help me. And in my 5 wishes, I added, give me all the drugs you want. I don't want to be in pain. I don't want to be out. I'd rather be out of it than be in pain or be nauseous. The next one, I wish to have cool, moist cloth put on my head if I have a fever. I want my lips and mouth to be kept moist to stop dryness. That one is very important to me. So I wrote an extra line in there to make sure my lips are always moist with Vaseline or something. I wish to have warm baths often. I wish to be kept fresh and clean at all times. I wish to be massaged with warm oils as often as I can. Now I'm going to stop here because doesn't that sound nice to be massaged with warm oils? I like that right now. However, unfortunately, there are some types of cancer and illnesses that you don't want to touch them. Just touching them lightly is very, very painful. So in my 5 wishes, I could say I want to be massaged, but when the time comes, that may be painful for me. So again, I believe this document's like a living document because it's going to change as you change too. All righty. If I'm not able to control my bowel or bladder functions, I wish my clothes and bed linens to be kept clean and for them to be changed as soon as they can be if they are soiled. I wish to have personal care like shaving, nail clipping, hair brushing, teeth brushing, as long it does not cause me pain or discomfort. I wish to have religious or spiritual readings and well-loved poems read out loud when I am near death. I wish to know about options for hospice care to provide medical, emotional, spiritual care for me and my loved ones. And I'm sure we all know this, but people do not utilize the services of hospice care soon enough. And that name, with all respect, should be changed to comfort care. I know palliative care is comfort care, but the name hospice carries a little bit of a negativity. It equals death, and it's not necessarily just death. My mom was in hospice for 9 months. So, so please, if you're in a situation, get your loved ones into hospice sooner than later. It is such a beautiful service that they have, and I believe it's like free, it's free, so use it. Okay, number 4, my wish and how I want people to treat me. Cross out anything you don't agree with. All right. I wish to have people with me when possible. I want someone to be with me when it seems that death may come at any time. Okay. And again, I'm going to go off camera here because I want to just share something with you. Terry and I together, I would be considered an extrovert. She's more of an introvert, right? So let's say I am the one that, let's say Terry is the one that is in hospice care and she's an introvert. This is a generalization. It's not necessarily what she believes. And so Terry really doesn't like a bunch of people around her. That sucks out her energy. It's not comfortable. But I'm an extrovert. Come on in, everybody, come on in. Well, that's not what she wants. And it could be the other way around too. So we have to honor the wishes of our loved ones, whether they want friends and family coming in like a parade or whatever. Some people love it and some people do not want that. So just be aware of that in your personality with your loved ones. You know, don't project what you want onto them. Allow their wishes to be spoken. And that's what's so great about the 5 wishes. Okay. I wish my hand to be held and to be talked to when possible, even if I don't seem to respond to the voice or touch of others. I wish to have others by my side praying for me when possible. I wish to have the members of my faith community told that I am sick and asked to pray for me and visit me. Some people may want that, some people may not. I wish to be visited by a chaplain or clergy. I wish to be cared for with kindness and cheerfulness and sadness. Well, I crossed off cheerfulness on mine because if I'm in that state, I'm kind of moving into another energy, another vibration into my next experience of life. And I don't know if I want Miss Sunshine all around me. That's again is just me. I wish to have pictures of my loved ones in my room near my bed. I wish to have my favorite music played when possible until the time of death. Please list your favorite music, okay? Because for me, it's going to be Judy Garland music or nice meditation music. There's some music that I don't want to be played. I want to die in home if that can be done. So on my 5 wishes, I cross out if that can't be done because I have written in more details that I'm going to stay at home. I know it can be very costly, and I have instructions to sell a house to pay for my care on one of our rental properties. So to make sure I have the financial capabilities to have in-home care. It is very expensive. I wish to be called by my name or if you have a certain name special. Now I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to go on camera here because one of the things I noticed with these 5 wishes that is not in the 5 wishes is our beloved pets. What are you going to do with your pets? Who's going to take care of your pets? If you have more than one pets, do you want them to stay together? You may want to put some money aside and let people know I have X amount of dollars for the care of my pets. For many of us, our pets are like our children. And the 5 wishes doesn't talk about pets in here. So that's why I want to make sure that you write pets somewhere so that can be acknowledged. Okay. All right. Wish number 5. Oh, the other thing with wish number 4, let's say you have a hearing challenge, which I do. I wear hearing aids. Well, I would want people to let them know that if I'm not wearing my hearing aids, they need to get close to me, probably even closer by that time, and talk to me so I can hear them. So that's another thing I added in mine. Wish number 5. Oh, this is this is the good one. My wish for what I want my loved ones to know. Again, cross out anything you don't agree with. I wish to have my family and friends know that I love them. I wish to be forgiven for the times I have hurt my family, friends, and others. I wish to have my family, friends, and others know that I forgive them for when they may have hurt me in my life. I wish my family and friends to know that I do not fear death. I think it is not the end, but a new beginning. But I wrote in mine, I still wish I was here. I wish for my family and members to make peace with each other before my death, if they can, or after my death. I wish for my family and friends to think about what I was like
We will
before
go
I
through this
became
together
seriously
sometime.
ill. I want them to remember me in this way after my death. I wish for my family and friends and caregivers to respect my wishes, even if they don't agree with them. I wish for my family and friends to look at my dying as a time of personal growth for everyone, including me. This will help me live a meaningful life in my final days. I wish for my family and friends to get counseling if they have trouble with my death. I want my memories of my life to give them joy, not sorrow.
It's interesting because I didn't
We
initiate
need
this
to
one.
we need to
It
mute who's
doesn't
ever
do the
on. Please mute.
full picture.
Mute.
Doesn't do
I
it
wish,
live.
Wayne, could you mute yourself, please, my friend? Thank you. I wish after my death, I would like my body to be buried or cremated. And as we know, there's so many more ways that we can deal with our remains. There's a green burials, there's a compost burial, there's a Neptune Society. But we also know it is expensive to die. It's expensive to die. And this is very important because I know it can change for us. 30 years ago, if you were Catholic, you were going to be buried. You're not going to be cremated. That has changed now. And just like if you are of the Jewish faith, you will not be cremated. You will be buried. Okay. And and so it's important that you put down in here the following person that knows your funeral wishes. This is also a perfect time for you to make those pre-needed contract services for your memorial, for your burial. Go ahead and pay it now because it's just going to go up and up and up. I think about the cheapest cremation I've seen is $12.50 and it goes up from there. Thank goodness there's many other ways of dealing with our body other than just how you go to the memorial service or the funeral home, you buy their casket there. You don't even have to buy a casket there. You can buy it at Costco or online. It's amazing now, thank goodness. If anyone asks how I would like to be remembered, please say the following about me. And this is where you're going to put your legacy in. You can add other pages to this that you may have written out. I had a friend of mine who just crossed over. He lived in the Midwest on a beautiful lakefront home, and he said that he wanted the hospice bed to be outside on the deck. So when he took his last breath, he was out looking at the beautiful lake that he always spent so much time on. It's important, if there is a memorial service for me, I wish for the service to include the music, songs, readings, or any other special requests that you have. So for me, it would be only Judy Garland songs or Liza Minnelli, Say Yes, Yes to Life. And it's important for my healthcare providers to know what matters most to me. I wish for them to know the following. And this might be some place of gratitude for the help and the support that you are receiving. It could be again where you're going to put about your pets. What do you want to be done with your pets? And at the end, it says, please use this space for any other wishes. For example, you may want to donate any or all parts of your body when you die. You may wish to designate a charity to receive memorial contributions, or you may want to give instructions on what should be done with your social media or other electronic records. And you can use a separate sheet of paper and just attach it to your 5 wishes. Now, when we're doing these 5 wishes, I'm going to suggest, if you're going to bring family and friends together, is to be creative in this. You may have a bon voyage party. You may go to one of the wineries in your area with a group of people where they have a little sitting area and just enjoy yourself and fill out the 5 wishes together. But add some levity to it. It's already a subject most people don't want to talk about. So get creative on how you can bring this to other people. Signing your 5 wishes. Be sure you sign your 5 wishes in the presence of the witnesses. So if you don't have your 2 witnesses with you right now, do not sign it. So it says, I, Diane Davison, ask that my family, my doctors, and other healthcare providers, my friends, and all others follow my wishes as communicated by my healthcare agent. If I have one, and he or she is available, or as otherwise expressed in this form. This form becomes valid when I am unable to make decisions or speak for myself. If any part of this form cannot be legally followed, I ask that all other parts of this form be followed. I also revoke any healthcare advance directives I have made before, and you're going to sign it in front of your witnesses. Your witnesses does not need to look at your 5 wishes or what you wrote. They're just testing to the point that you are who you are. The witnesses, you're going to sign it that the person in front of you acknowledge this form is personally known to you, that he or she has signed or acknowledged his healthcare agent or living will forms in your presence, and that you are of sound mind and under no duress, fraud, or undue influence. I also declare that I'm over 18 of age, 19 Alabama, and I am not an individual appointed as an agent, proxy, surrogate, patient advocate, or representative by this document or his or her successor. I am not the person's healthcare provider, including owner, operator of health, long-term care, or other residential or community care facilities serving the person. I am not an employee of the person's healthcare provider. I am not financially responsible for the person's health. I am not an employee of a life insurance or provider for the person. I am not related to the person by blood, marriage, or adoption. I am not a beneficiary of any legal instrument, account, or benefit plan of the person. And I am not, to the best of my knowledge, a creditor of the person or entitled to any part of their estate. Okay? You do not need to have it notarized unless you live in Missouri, North Carolina, South Carolina, and West Virginia. What are you going to do after your 5 wishes? You're going to make sure you sign it. It's been witnessed. You're going to talk about your 5 wishes with your healthcare agent, family members, and others who care about you. You're going to give them copies. You're going to keep your original copy. You're not going to put in a safe deposit box. You're going to keep it nearby so people can find it. Put it on your refrigerator door or your nightstand, someplace where it's very visual to people. You can fill out the wallet card below, carry it with you. That way people know you have the 5 wishes. You're going to talk to your doctor during your next office visit. So when you go see your doctor, you're going to bring your 5 wishes booklet. You're going to give it to the nice person at the front and say, could you please make copies of my 5 wishes and put it in my file? Then when you see your doctor, you're going to say, I just want you to know I put my 5 wishes. I gave it to the people up front, and I want to make sure you know that I have my 5 wishes in there, and ask them if they have any questions, your doctor. If you are admitted to a hospital or nursing home, take a copy of your 5 wishes with you. Ask that it be put in your medical records. And that's why the digital form is outstanding. And who have you given your 5 copies, your 5 wishes to? Usually I know, I even went to my dermatologist and they asked if I had advance directive. And I said, I'm going to die today. You know, like everybody usually asks you about it anyway, in case we forget. And 5 wishes is meant to help you plan for the future. It is not meant to give you legal advice. It does not try to answer all questions about anything that could come up. Every person is different. Every situation is different. Laws change from time to time. If you have specific questions or problems, talk to a medical or legal professional for advice. And the attorneys that are in-house, I'll bet you're glad that's in there. This is your wallet size to go ahead and carry in your wallet. And this is our beloved Mother Teresa. Woohoo, we did it! Yes! You guys are great. That was a lot. Now, before we go into any questions, I want to very quickly talk about how to get a conversation started. And I'll email this to you also. So hang on, I got one more Sherry. Okay, getting the conversation started. Well, a perfect one is today. Hey, I attended this webinar on the 5 wishes, and it got me thinking about about making care decisions. I don't know how you feel about these things, but I'd like to know. Can we talk about it? Or you were watching a TV show last night and there was a woman on life support and her family they were arguing over what to do. I thought about one of us in that situation and realized I don't know what you want. What would you want? Can we talk about it? Or we haven't really talked about how daddy died. What would you have wanted in that situation? Or how would you want to be cared for if you were really sick like daddy was? Or I want to talk with you so that you know, so I know what your wishes are in case you get sick and you know mine. We don't have to talk about it now unless you want to, but let's set a date for that. Or I know you're in great health and I hope you live to 150, but just in case you get sick, I would like to know a few things so I can help you if you need me. I'm going to leave you a copy of the 5 wishes and let's talk about it. Or I know you well enough to know that you don't want to put us in the position of guessing your wishes if you get sick. So I need you to tell me a few things. If now isn't a good time, we can talk about it later. Okay? So I'm going to be sending that to everybody also. So let me just see if I covered everything. I already received quite a few questions I'm going to cover because they're pretty clear. If I go traveling to Europe and I happen to cross over, I'm in Italy, wouldn't that be great? I'll take a CC, please. Will my 5 wishes still hold up? Well, yes and no. They may not recognize it as a legal document, but if they have a copy of your 5 wishes, of course, who wouldn't want to support you in your wishes? In fact, they're going to be grateful that they know what to do. So yes, it is good in every state of the United States. Um, Let me see here. Oh, can I pay somebody to be my medical health agent? Yes, you can, but that usually never happens. The only time you would pay somebody if they were in a legal position like an attorney or somebody of that nature. But yes, you can pay somebody to do it, but that usually does not happen. Let's see. So any questions? Nancy, Joyful Joni.
One of
Okay,
the lines
Joyful
towards
Joni.
the end piqued my curiosity. What does it mean by what should be done with your social media? What can somebody do with your social media, like your Facebook account? My understanding is it just lives on and on. I still get like friend suggestions from people that have made their transition, and it's really eerie to see them come up.
I know, Joni, you're absolutely right. I get the same thing, and I don't have that answer, but I will find out for you. That's more of a social media question. Maybe somebody here may have that answer. Good question. I will find out for you and let
Okay.
everyone know.
Thank you.
Robert Collins.
Yes, I have a question regarding the healthcare provider where it says if two healthcare providers have to agree on the changes. Uh, can that healthcare provider be a nurse practitioner or physician's assistant that works with the doctor?
Good question, Robert. Thank you. It's my understanding, yes.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Diane,
Yes, Mary. Oh, unmute yourself, please, Mary. And then we'll go to V next and then Kathy.
okay. Briefly, the question is about the healthcare agent. I do not have one now. I can ask maybe somebody, but I don't think I want to get involved with that. Who would do this if I don't declare a healthcare agent?
Good question, Mary. That's a really good question. The state has a pecking order who is considered the next of kin. So they'll go down the line, and it may be a second cousin that doesn't even know you. But there is a pecking order state by state, who is the next kin in line, and that's what they'll go to.
By kin, not by friendship. Yeah.
Not by friendship. That's why if you want a friendship person, name them as your healthcare agent. And this is a great thing to do together. I'll do you, you do mine.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, V.
Yeah. So, Diane, I was wondering about like, what if I don't want specific medications? I want just natural, you know, herbal herbs, or say I want CBD for pain.
Mhm.
Can I put that in there?
Absolutely. Again, this is what the conversation is so important with your healthcare agent or your family and friends. I want all natural interventions. I don't want anything in the medical interventions, if that's important to you. And isn't that wonderful to know what somebody really wants and we can support them in their wishes? Yes. Kathy, unmute yourself, please, my friend.
Um, I have a friend who, this was about 5 years ago. Her parents had nothing, no living trust, no five wishes, nothing. And they were in their 90s. I guess they thought they were going to live forever. Well, her dad died, and then her mom had to go into memory care. It took my friend an entire year to get everything, and she had anxiety. I'm just letting people know. I don't know what her parents were thinking. Anyway, another thing though I want to ask about, when my mother got older, she put my name on her checking account, and which was advantageous because several years later, she was diagnosed with glioblastoma. It's a terminal brain tumor, and her mind like slipped like that. My brother and I was able to get on her account and start paying her bills. So this is something, I don't have any kids. I don't know if I should have somebody where they do have a signature on my account. And I'm a very private person too about my finances. And it's like, if I have my brother or sister-in-law put on there, I still don't want them being able to snoop into, so I know I'm a very private person. Maybe other people wouldn't care. Like, I never looked at my mother's bank transactions until her mind was like, very suddenly. So
Mhm.
what do you advise on that?
That's a great question, Kathy, because like you, I didn't know about my mother's finances until she went into hospice. So that's very normal. So what I would suggest, if you don't want to involve a family member or relative in your personal information, you can hire an attorney, an accountant, a bookkeeper that you trust, that's licensed and insured. Make sure they're
Okay.
licensed and insured. If you're going to go that route, if they're going to be and they can be your healthcare agent too.
Right. Like my brother and sister, now my brother's 79. I'm 73, and I keep having to go, God, am I 73 already? And if on the chance that he passes before me, I have my sister-in-law that she used to work, she was a social worker in assisted living facilities, and she was really good when my mom was in hospice. But anyway, she would be the next in line. So I would want them to make healthcare decisions, but I just have this quirk. I'm very private about things. I don't know. And I mean, they would never take my money and run out of town, but there's just something, I'm very private about financial things. I mean, once I pass over, then I guess that's the least of your worries, but
Mm. And the five wishes does not deal with finances. It's only
okay,
with your medical wishes.
I get you.
You're
Okay.
able to make for yourself.
Yeah. But I thought I'd just add that comment though, if you have somebody to put, like in your case, you're married, so your spouse would do that, but like I'm single, no kids, just childless cat lady, and so I think about this stuff now.
Sure, and you may look into your spiritual community too for support. That's a good resource to have.
Okay, thank you.
Kathy, Patty,
When I put this stuff together for myself, I found someone to be a financial POA, power of attorney. So that's another possibility because then you can choose the person, and it is a legal document that gets filed somewhere. So then they would, whoever you designate would have the freedom to view your finances. And I guess for me, at the point that this is having to happen, I want them to know everything about my finances. So, thank you.
thank you, Patty. Now remember, power of attorney has to be notarized. Your 5 wishes
Oh, yeah.
not have to be notarized unless you lived in those 4 states.
Yeah.
But it has to be witnessed. Kat,
I also want to remind people that, especially in the LGBT community, that there are some estranged families. And I would suggest who is allowed and who is not in the room, because I know in the past, especially, that there were people whose parents did not agree with their lesbian lifestyle who threw their partner out of the room and did not let them see them. And I think that that should be mentioned in this.
thank you, Kat. That is so true and so important, especially when if they're not married and their siblings will come in and they'll say, "You're nobody. You're not married." I could spend the next 2 hours telling you stories after stories after stories. In fact, all of you probably have had stories. That's why you're here. But what a good suggestion, Kat. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Judy. Hi, Judy. Unmute yourself, my friend.
So my question, Diane, is I printed off the 5 wishes right here, but is it proper to go through the 5 wishes scan place, or is it okay to use this form? What
Oh,
is?
no, you can use this form.
Oh,
Absolutely.
okay.
Print it out and use it. I'm just saying the other option is a digital option.
Okay, I
Yes.
see.
Yeah, and that's only $7.50. You can go back years and years and add and change it around, which is really cool. And you have it on your phone in a PDF. So if you go to the hospital, bing, bang, bong, there it is. There it is.
Okay.
There it is.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judy. Good to see you, my friend. All right. Are we all? Kathy, did you have another question? No? Okay. Joyful Joni?
Yeah, I just wanted to share, I'm single and the family I have, I'm estranged from. So I hired what's called a fiduciary to do all of these, handle all of this for me. So you can find those in, online,
Mm-hmm.
and they will take
Thank
care
you.
of everything for you. And
Thank
it
you very
doesn't
much.
cost that much.
Hire a fiduciary. Thank you.
So
Thank
yeah, if you
you,
don't have anybody you trust, you don't have family that you want to deal with, that's a good option. A fiduciary.
Fiduciary.
Yes. Wonderful. Any other questions? This has just been just fabulous. Thank you all for saying
Thank you.
yes to your heart and to your wishes. Now I will send everybody a copy of our webinar here. Plus, I did a PowerPoint presentation that I did not share with you because usually my experience in doing 5 Wishes seminars with other people, they all do PowerPoint, PowerPoint, PowerPoint. No one has ever taken me page by page, word by
Yeah.
word through this document. So I'm really stoked that you all said yes, and you're all here, and please share this with other people. V, did
will.
you have something else you want to say?
Where do I get that digital?
You're going to
Um,
go to 5wishes.org. You can do your QR thing and
okay.
go to their site and you can sign up there. $7.50. They do not give free 5 Wishes booklets, but I think you can get them at like at hospitals, that your doctor should have them or not. These are $5, $7.50 on digital. It costs more for them to mail it than it does to buy it.
So this would be in place of an advanced directive.
Mhm. The
Thanks,
medical
Diane.
advance directive.
Your medical advanced directive. Okay,
Medical
because I have.
advance directive.
Thank you, Diane.
Oh, well, you're welcome. And thank you all. I mean, I am so stoked to finally be doing this because this has been in my heart for so long. And I feel like I'm giving
Yes.
birth. And I know all of you
Yes.
will take this out and share
Yeah.
it in your community so people don't have to go through that tough time. It's already tough already. I
Yeah.
love all of you. If you need any support, just reach out to me. I'm very passionate about it, as you can tell, and we'll see you sometime.
Yes.
Okay, blessings.
Blessings.
Thank you all.
Thank
Thank you.
you.